welcome back to Unitrader. We're going to be looking at psychological levels today. Before I get into it, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. And please be safe out there. I will not contact you. Watch out for scammers. I will not take money from you. I don't want your money. Keep your money. All right. So after my last video, a Discord friend of mine, OP Trader. Shout out to OP Trader. He enlightened me on the psychological levels, and let's talk about them. So, before we do, look at that thing of beauty. For anybody who has been following, and I talked about this level, the golden pocket with the 0.5 of this blue vector candle right in the golden pocket. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty decent. Let's just take a quick peek here. Even if you took it off of the middle point, 0.5 right there, that's a 2.61% at where we are right now. But be careful. We are right now at the moment of truth, so trying to get over this 200 EMA. Let's see what we can pull out there. Interesting thing here is this 800 EMA is starting to really close the gap. So these EMAs are starting to bunch up, which is pretty exciting. It's either going to be mad volatility to the downside, or maybe we can finally get over this 800 EMA hump that has been crushing Bitcoin during this bear market. Let's see, or will we just fake out or not even get there? Anyhow, the psychological levels. So I'm just going to open up my settings here because I have my lines turned off, and let's get the lines and labels on. So here's the psychological levels. Let me oh, and also another thing of beauty for this long off of this golden pocket. Sorry guys, I'm kind of going back and forth here, but just check out. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Huge downward move, but on the TDI we've got some pretty decent bullish divergence here. So TDI nails it again on the 1 hour. If we come down to the 15-minute, which is where you should be entering trades, it's actually even nicer. So look at that. Beautiful. Hold on. This is what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I'm looking for right there. So, building some awesome bullish divergences. Yeah, price going down. TDI moving on up. All right, neither here nor there. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I kind of am, because that's a beautiful trade so far. So, the psychological levels. I'm going to close this. All right, so bring it back down to the 1 hour chart. This is how it's calculated. I'm in GME time, so New York Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time would be 5 p.m. on Saturday. That's where the count starts. 5 p.m. I'm GMT +1, so it's 10 o'clock for me. The first 8 candles that are printed, they're going to take the high and the low. And that's how these psychological levels are calculated. So again, shout out to OP Trader. Thank you, sir. Watch my video and let me know right away. Much obliged. Now, I these are pretty strong levels, very strong levels, and I've known that since I've started using this indicator. But honestly, never knew how they calculated them, which is kind of weird, but true nonetheless. So OP Trader told me this a few days ago, and I started to look around. Let me just clear some of this stuff off here. Actually, I'll turn everything off. So what I did was, and this is just like not really a lesson, but it's just kind of a demonstration of how to really look at things and kind of play with them, right? So with our fibs, you don't just use a standard fib pull all the time. Play with them, change the inputs and see if you find anything that is repeatable. Back test it. Don't trade it off back tests. I'd never trade off back tests. So what I'm going to show you right now is something that I will test in the future, and I will not I'm not going to trust my back tests, even though it's pretty insane what I have managed to find. So um, what I've done is I thought to myself, okay, so the first 8 candles of Saturday from 5 p.m. New York time, that it just seems so random and bizarre to me. Like how does that make sense, especially on low weekend volume? How does that make sense? So I started looking around and just kind of plotting out stuff. So first what I did was I went to the 15-minute chart and I thought, well, if the first 8 candles of that time period works, let me see what the first 8 candles does from an actual daily session start. So I took a box, and for me, the actual trading day starts at 1 a.m. And when I say for me, I mean for my time zone, right? And so I marked out the first 8 candles, the low. So here we are. 1 candle, 2 candles, 3 candles, 4 candles, 5 candles, 6 candles, 7 candles, 8. And I marked out the high. So within these 8 candles here, starting right there, that is your range high and low on the 15-minute chart. So then I saw, wow, that's pretty wild. That gets quite a bit of respect. Then we bounce out of it, and this is market maker getting people to go short while he's filling up his longs, and then he rips it to the upside, comes back, retests, falls out a little bit, comes up, retests, and then finally breaks out. And now Bob is your uncle. We're moving to the upside. So I did this yesterday, and I saw some respect, and then I was playing with time frames. So I thought to myself, how can I use this for swing trades? Because I love swing trades. I'd rather swing trade than anything else because it's just much more relaxed. So what I ended up doing was going to the the daily time frame, and let me do this for the first 8 candles of the month. So this month we are approaching, we're closing in on the last week of the month. But if we do that for this month, that's going to be our low, and that's going to be our high. And we've just been sort of ranging in here. Yeah. Now, if we go back to September, so here's September 1st, and there's the 8th. So September 1st, that's going to be our high. And then on the 8th candle, sorry, on the 7th candle, we put in our low for the first 8 candles. Yeah, so again, look at this. And I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. That's actually really interesting. So I went all the way back and I did this every month, and I'll show you what that insanity looks like. So very messy, kind of hard to read, but if you start to zero in on these time zones, so for example, this is for February 2021, and once we get into March, look at the respect that this level has here. Look at the respect it has all the way in April. And if we zoom out, here it is again in August, rejecting. Finally, we claim it, use it as support, come back up, and now we reject off of May's psychological level. I'll call this psychological levels because I'm using the psychological level method, which is the first 8 candles. And the timelines, I kind of was like, how do I figure out this timeline? Because the timeline of this indicator, psychological levels, it's pretty random to me that it's done on Saturday. But that's, I guess, when the market makers are figuring out what they're going to do for the week and how they're going to manipulate us into opening positions, right? Now, this one is one that really freaked me out. This is from December 2020. And look at this. On the 15th of June 2022, we touch it to the dollar. Find support. And because these are daily, these are huge moves. That's 13%. Whew, 13%. Geez, that's gorgeous. We come down here to the bottom psychological level, and we whip through it, but we eventually reclaim it. I mean, it's kind of blowing my mind, this stuff. And look at this. I mean, it's incredible. So now, how do you trade this? Well, you can't just trade these, but you could actually develop a strategy pretty much just with this. So, uh, for example, you come down, you test this level. Once this level breaks, uh, you could easily enter here with any other confirmation. So order flow and this, I mean, geez, what a killer combo. Killer combo. I mean, look at this stuff. It's insane. So I'm going to keep looking over this, and really, I'm going to just keep charting it out. I'm going to chart all the way back and get all these levels filled out. And then I will incorporate into a strategy, because this seems to me to be very reasonable levels to be looking at. So I'm going to create a folder, because this is obviously hugely messy, and I'm going to create a folder for monthly psychological levels, weekly psychological levels. I also did it on, and also got very well respected. So on the weekly, I used 1 hour candles, and I also used 4 hour candles. So sorry, 1 hour chart and 4 hour chart. And then I did it on the daily with the 15, as you saw. And it really is kind of blowing my mind, I have to say. So I just wanted to share that, because these are the sorts of things that you kind of need to play around with. And the more you play around with stuff, the more you're going to find things that fit into your style. Now, the Trader's Reality or the PVSRA system, this is a system that they say don't use with other systems because it's just going to confuse you. But I think because I'm using their psychological level approach, I'm still within the realm of this, or I might just be kind of out of pocket now and going down a bit of a rabbit hole that I really shouldn't be, right? But the future is going to tell me that relatively quickly. So again, I'm not going to base any trades on this right now, but I'm definitely going to be looking at this to see how it applies in the future and see if I can use it to my advantage. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Like all of these things that you find, try them on multi time levels, multi uh, dimensions. Like play around with everything. Don't just do it the standard way. Never do that because these are the kinds of things that you're going to find your edge with. And you're really going to start to turn trading into a profitable, successful business. All right. Um, we'll go back to this, and anybody who saw my videos where I put those levels out last week, or last week, this week, I guess I did it on Monday. Yes, I did it on Monday. These levels have played out 100% so far. Now, that doesn't mean they always do, not even close. But so far, yeah, everything is going according to plan. So these were the levels I had. This is something I did with that 15-minute. But there you go, guys. These are the levels I have been looking for this week, and so far we hit the short. Now we've hit the long. Remember, I missed that one on Sunday because I don't trade Sundays, right? But it was a very decent scalp. That was right here. Very decent scalp. Um, so yeah, the week has come to a close. So really gave us two decent trades this week. If you had have traded or if I had have traded it on Sunday, because I only put that video out on Monday, I would have had a decent scalp off of that as well. But yeah, I will make my Sunday video now. We'll be mapping out what I believe to be the best situations for next week. I hope you join me for that. It should be pretty interesting. And then we'll see what happens next week, right? But so far this week, everything went as planned, which I don't know any other YouTuber that actually puts out their plan for the week and then lets everybody watch him burn in flames or succeed. So this week, success. Success only. Next week, gotta lose sometime. So let's see what happens, guys. Anyways, be safe, be well, and we'll see you soon.